This video is going to be a little bit different today because I wanted to talk about something that had me a little bit interested in the topic because I've never quite done anything like this on any other video. I usually talk about things like this in the various Discord chats that I'm in, but I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. This in particular is about the series Keijo. It's a show that premiered last year in October, and it's actually a really decent show. I mean, it's not the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, but it definitely has a lot going for it, from its unique art style to a lot of the action that happens in it, albeit with boobs and butt, but it's fine. Of course, with any show that's like this, you're gonna have backlash. And one of the things that happened in particular was a reporter by the name of Luis Mensch, who said that Keijo is an anime that isn't just misogynistic, but it's child porn. To which I had a collective, what the fuck are you talking about? One of the things about why these feminists do not like Keijo is because they feel that it appeals to the male fantasy of looking at girls that are busty or at least, good looking enough to fight in the water. So why do they not apply that same logic to a series that's like Free, where it clearly is about attractive males in the pool and it's clearly geared towards a female audience? Not to say that there's anything wrong with that kind of thing, but if they're gonna place blame on one, why not do it on the other? But Free is gonna be a video for another day, so for right now, let's get into the story about why Keijo is apparently misogynistic and why she somehow thinks that this is child pornography. Now, to be clear, there have been people that have done these videos way before I got here, and kudos to them for taking the initiative to stand up for something that they truly love and enjoy. I mean, I, for one, would hate to see anything like Symphogear or Keijo be taken off the air or not show anywhere because of how misogynistic it truly is. But that's the problem, is that it's not truly misogynistic. Now, I'm 100% for women's rights, and I think that women should be treated fairly, but I'm not going to go out of my way to say that a show is misogynistic because women are competing to get prize money or to have fame. I mean, it would be ridiculous. So to begin, if you look at the article that's presented in front of you, it's pretty much how she feels about this show and how she links it to another Kotaku article that's pretty much about the same thing. Girls fight with their butts and boobs in this wretched new anime. And that was kind of odd when I started reading that. It really was. But I digress. So initially she says, what I don't understand is why, despite cultural differences, a lot of American anime fans see Keijo and laugh it off, unmoved that in this show, women are valued at the sum total of their body parts. Sorry everyone, I know it's taken a little bit of time to get to the rest of the article, but there was a great reply in the comments section of that Kotaku article, which is really important. So Wirewad in the comments said, are they? You said yourself that women in question all have discernible personalities, interpersonal relationships, etc., and they're clearly not just slamming their butts and boobs together willy-nilly. You've indicated that these characters spend time training and practicing actual series canon moves and honing their skills. Senran Kagura is a series about ninja schoolgirls who tear one another's clothes off, but similarly to what you've described, every single character in it is acting of their own volition, has their own hopes and dreams, their own struggles, and their own obstacles to overcome and emotional baggage to work through. Senran Kagura is fan service heavy, but the characters are not 100% defined by their assets. They're defined by the personalities the writers gave them, and they own their titillation. Even though, yes, it was written for the excitement of the audience, it comes across as powerful women choosing to flaunt their sexuality because they like it. And while I haven't seen this show you're describing nor read the manga, what you've described here suggests this may do the same. In short, if a viewer chooses to value these characters only as the sum total of their body parts, the onus for that is on the viewer. If the character is presented as more than just a collection of body parts, as a human being with hopes and dreams and aspirations, then that character should be recognized as such. I don't entirely agree with the fan service approach to character design, but as long as fan service characters continue to be presented as characters and not just as empty fan service with no personality, I will take no issue with it. Though I do think there needs to be more shows like Free to balance things out for those looking to see a bit more sexy masculinity too. That last part's okay. Many brain cells had to die to bring you this information, but the article goes on. I agree completely, but there is another side to it. Keijo follows a normal practice in anime of making the characters seem young, with large, wide eyes. This may not usually be a problem, but in Keijo, it definitely is. The soft porn premise of the show is now paired with anime characters that look like children? And then she elaborates on it. See? The girl on the right with the white hair has the underdeveloped breast of a prepubescent child. That's a tough one. But you see, the problem with this, Miss Louise Mensch, is that the character on the right just doesn't have big boobs. In fact, according to the wiki page that I got it from, Sayaka Miyata is actually 18, and then she turns 19 during the whole story of this. So she just doesn't have big boobs, so technically, you're just full of shit. She continues, what's a feminist to do? We shudder to find ourselves on the same side as the feminists, who cry about sexualized video games where both male and female characters have strong, sexy, but clothed physiques. I laughed long and hard at feminist who bitched at Jumanji. I don't catch the reference. But this is different and beyond gross. It is the combination of porn and cartoons that's disturbing at first, and then it moves on to the child rendering typical of anime that is fine when a character is non-porn, but gross as hell when the cartoon in question is nude women fighting with their sex organs. You know, through most of the series, none of the women are ever truly nude. Sure, their tops come off, and I guess you could consider that topless and nude, but for the most part, they fight in swimsuits, and I think even a couple of times they fight with more than just the swimsuits on. The fight with their sex organs makes it sound like they're like ripping out something from inside of their body and they're swinging it around to kill each other. That sounds horrifying. But now it's time to wrap this one up nice and neat. She ends. So yeah, on this one, I fear that feminists and feminists are going to wind up on the same side. And quite honestly, if you are a bloke who likes mud wrestling porn, maybe you should grow up and get out of the comics section. And if you can't even do that, at the very least, try and make sure your animations don't feature women that look suspiciously like little girls. It's odd for someone to say to someone, get out of the comics section, when in a different article, Louise Mensch is using an iPhone app to, I guess, like Photoshop herself, and it's called Photo Rust. And in the article, she at the very end says, holy plastic surgeon, Batman. I don't think we are the ones that need to get out of the comics section. Not by a long shot. Now, to the people that are watching, I don't want you to go and try to find Louise Mensch or try to harass her in any way over this. I mean, this is just one person's opinion on the internet, kind of just like mine. I mean, she doesn't deserve any of the negativity, especially if she just isn't into it. I know it's a running gag in the anime community about people having shit taste, but this can apply to her. She has a shit taste. I mean, sure, if she's a feminist, I guess you can only see one side of the coin, but she just has shit taste. But now that that's over, I just wanted to get that quick rant out into the open because I actually had time to make a video today. So with that being said, if you have any questions or have any open feedback, feel free to leave them in the comments, like or dislike. It's all the same to me. I mean, if you want, you can get in contact with me on Twitter, and that's a great place. It's at NECRO_13, and you can pretty much just tag me in whatever you want. And and I almost forgot. You can follow Monotsusu on Twitter, and she's the one that made this art for me, and it's actually really good. I didn't want to use it this early, but honestly, it's really good, and I had more expressions this time than the last video. But this has been a little bit of a long one, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.